Hello troops, FlyRod 1000 here. Today I'm going to introduce you to a new inexpensive product and a simple way to use it that I think may be the best idea I've come up with in over 50 years of fly fishing. And I think it's going to increase your enjoyment of the sport, the way we do the sport, and the way we fish. And what I want to do first is introduce you to a product. You'll find it on Amazon.com Prime for about $11. It's called a Pips Hook and Leader Dispenser. It's from the Max Lure Company altogether, and they make all different colors of them so you can organize your leaders according to size. They're mostly for bait fishermen altogether, and if you get the new models, even have clear tops on them. But basically what they are is they're a leader dispenser that allows you to take leaders. In these cases, these are 40-pound test leaders for throwing big mullet at the giant drum that we have down here. And when you need a leader, you just reach in there, pull, and it comes out and it's all ready to rig. And when you want to store your leaders, all you do is take your leader, or a whole bunch of them, as many as you got, hook them in the little foam pad right there, put the lid on, turn it clockwise, and the leader will fold up around the internal spool like that. Really neat product for all types of fishing. You can see where I'm going with this, but first let me give you a little background. We've had the bad weather down here in southern Mississippi on the Redneck Riviera like everyone, so I spent the last 2 weeks inside working on tackle, tying flies, putzing around, and I joined 10 Facebook fly fishing groups, which you should do. It's really cool. There are tons of great tires and patterns and ideas out there, so much so that you want to see a pattern, you want to sit right down and tie a half a dozen of them. Well, I'm not going to do that. You see, I'm disciplining myself. A long time ago, I narrowed my basic go-to fly boxes down to my basic 800 patterns, and I'm not going to add any more and clutter it up. But anyways, on one of those posts was this little post saying, post the best fly fishing idea you ever had. Well, I'm an inveterate putzer. I tie flies, wrap rods, made my own mandrels, machined my own reels. I'm an inveterate putzer. I've come up with some good ideas. I've come up with some real bummers. I think I'm creative and innovative. My friends think I'm crazy. Both are probably right. But I got to thinking, that's a command post for the younger guys. I didn't pay any attention to it. Till a couple days ago, when I was working on my leaders for bait fishing, and I had a spare leader dispenser. Now you can see where I'm going with this. If you're on a river where you're fishing hopper droppers underneath a big hopper, or you're coming down with a great big stonefly nymph and you're fishing a nymph under like that, I like to use unweighted nymphs for my trailing nymphs. I think they swim better. And unless you know what pattern you should be on that bottom of that river, then we all have go-to patterns. My four are gold rib hares here, PT flashbacks, some version of a Prince nymph, and a San Juan worm, because I fish in Montana and Idaho a lot. So what I did, I tied up 6 each of my go-to patterns and attached 30 inches of 4X tippet, because that's my go-to tippet most of the time. And I'm all ready to go. So if I'm on a stream and I'm with a hopper and I put a little copper john on and I want to pull a San Juan worm, there I am, already rigged up. Just put the loop on the end, hang it on there, and I'm good to go. Now look what else I've done up here in the corner. See those little pieces of square foam? This summer I'm switching over and going to start using tippet rings. And I have a spool of those little 2mm ones. They're very tiny. You can imagine how hard they're going to be to tie in a boat or standing on the side of the stream. So I got out my 4X and my 5X tippet, and I pre-tied on to my rings, 5 of each. So I could tell them apart. It's very simple. Red, white, and blue, size 4, size 5, size 6, fluorocarbon. I tied up 5 of each. I got 5 reds and 5 whites. I didn't do any 6X, but I'll put some 6X in there. So now, in one little box, I've got 24 trailing leaders ready to go with flies on them, and I've got 10 tippets ready to put on the end of my 9.5-footer, 9-footer, 10-foot tapered leader with my tippet ring all ready to go. Going to save a lot of time. Going to put you out there. More time on the water means more time in the water. More time in the water means more trout. It's all got to work out somewhere. I thought you might like this. Now, I've done videos before, but I've never asked for the likes or the clicks or the pass-throughs or the pass-it-ons or all that stuff. But I really think that this one might have the capacity to go somewhere, and I'd like to post some big numbers. So if you like this idea, pass it on, repost it, click like, thumbs up, or whatever it is on whatever thing you do, and see if I can make this thing grow. Anyways, I'm going to be 2.5 months up in Montana this summer. Maybe I'll run into you up there on the Madison sometime. Look for the guy with the yellow liter dispenser.